You have never found yourself really good. You wholeheartedly to others, but what you get is only pain. I used to. I spent 5 years to love you, then another 3 years to wait for him. In the end, what he gave me was the choice. One is that he loves the other because he misses me so much. Second, he married me because he wanted to run away from love with another girl. If you're curious about my story, stay tuned. Hello, my name is Amanda. Devil is the name of his I mentioned. I and Devil fell in love when we were in secondary school. Love lasted until high school and almost ended at the end of high school. Not because we stopped loving, but because he had to study abroad. Devil says that the aspiration and tradition of his family, he had no way of refusing. He will go and promise to return after 3 years. Honestly, he still loves me very much, but I'm sure I am not the type to wait for such a long move. Moreover, I am not confident enough in the so-called loyalty, so I agreed to let him go in exchange for me and he will break up in the 3 years he went to study abroad. During these 3 years, we were able to develop our relationship with another guy or girl. If after 3 years we meet again and the feelings are still as good as before, we will return to each other. That's my point, and I think it's quite right and comfortable for the devil, but he refused. Devil said I had to trust him, to wait for him, because the love between us was eternal. He promised to marry me right after the end of his 3-year study abroad. He said he was studying abroad for the sake of our future, that his job would be convenient and our life would be more comfortable later. I refused the promise he made. The day he left, I refused one more time. I definitely cut off our relationship. He was still firmly in our love, boarded the plane, and left me alone. 3 years later, my life was just hanging around with books, food, and music. I refused all gifts, bouquets, made friends, and waiting for messages. Sometimes so boring, I will reward myself with shopping and beauty. I realized that my words when I broke up simply meant to force him to stay with our nearly 5-year affection. To make it easier to understand, I said goodbye while my heart was still sobbing, and my mind would still not give up hope. 2 years, a year, then a month. Finally, the day he and I would meet came again. Devil actively found me in the middle of the schoolyard. He handed me 100 flowers and a crimson ring box. He proposed to me as he promised. That moment, I was sure of the enduring love between the two of us. All of the deprivation and loneliness of the past 3 years that have been fully compensated. I asked him why he knew I was still alone and proposed so suddenly. What would you do, and what would I have done if I had a romantic relationship with someone at that time? Do you know what his answer was? Its original text is, I believe in your faithfulness. Then he hugged me and we gave each other a passionate kiss. Suddenly I realized Devil's hand moved to my butt. He wants more. I pushed him away and comforted myself. The devil is not an eager man. Just because his emotions have been restrained for so long, he is the same. Probably because he's been away from me for so long, and really he missed me so much that he acted like that. His words sound so sweet, it goes straight to my heart, but the truth is not going anywhere. People even vomited and trampled on the truth. You must be thinking about how I can change so quickly that my lover will come back to me only after 3 years of separation. Why do I say that I'll explain it right away? Do you remember what we said when we broke up at the airport? I repeat, the one who wants the two of us to be comfortable with our new relationship is me. The one who opposes and asks me to trust in love is him. Now you just need to understand the opposite, meaning he is the one who extends the relationship with another girl, and I'm the one who trusts and waits for him like an idiot. Don't ask why I'm sure of that. Of course, there was no hope of honesty from him. He was silent during our conversation, which meant he wanted to hide it, because everything that happened to him in the last 3 years had images of that girl. I must admit that he is an excellent actor, also a great strategist. Unfortunately, he is not a psychologist, because it seems that he didn't expect that girl to come and see me. Her name is Alita. As a person, it's not simple, hot-tempered. The way Alita let me receive the information could be said to be full of arrangements. That day, standing on the 3rd floor of the building, I was drawn to a pregnant foreign girl, half pregnant with dark skin, her hair fluffy, as if waiting for someone for so long in the sunshine of her face. There are many people passing by and expressing interest, but the conversation is very short. I think it is due to a language barrier. After school, I thought that I couldn't help her, so I was just going to pass by. But right now the girl took the initiative to approach me and told her story and asked me for help. It was then I realized that her language was quite good and that the reality she wanted from me was no ordinary help. Alita pretended to ask me about my lover as her lover. Alita wants me to take her to her lover's house while it's my fiancé. Alita's style is to make me clearly understand the story between her and the devil, but puts me in a situation where I can't speak loudly to her. She's a pregnant woman. According to what Alita said, I see a beautiful love in Teary. The two of them overcame geographic barriers, fell in love, were so close that they understood each other's language, even went to bed and promised their future. However, because of a vague promise of youth, Alita's male lead must return to this country. Alita is certain that her man broke off the relationship 3 years ago and would love to see her again, but she hasn't been able to contact him so far and is worried. At this moment, I need to rearrange the information and calm myself. The person I'm going to marry, my lover, he proposed to me while getting another girl pregnant. Now that girl is here, looking for ways to let me know this truth, and saying that our feelings are just a kiddish joke, that the bastard came back because he wanted to stop. I lost my temper. Pulling out his phone, he was about to call devil, preparing the harshest words to reproach. But Alita offered to resolve this directly. She looked at me with wide eyes, like I was about to tell miserable things and gossip about the devil. Great, now she doesn't need to pretend to not know me anymore. We made eye contact for a while when the demons appeared. Devil came because they want to pick me up after school. He looked horrified and surprised to see Alita. Alita ran to the devil's side, but he didn't seem to know what to do. Alita then appeared weak because of the heat stroke, and she looked like she was about to collapse. The devil put Alita in the car. He said goodbye to me to avoid arguments, but I offered to resolve the case immediately. We left the talking venue to another place. It was a closed dining room. Alita was the one who started the story. She influenced the devil, asking him to clarify the matter so that I could understand. What she meant is to end our affection. The devil turned to me, apologizing for a lot of things, but not because in the end, but because he wanted me to continue. He turned to Alita to ask her to stop causing trouble. Alita lost her temper and screamed, remembering the past between the two, pulling the baby out of her stomach to create value for herself. The devil has lost his way to handle it. Finally, he decided to tell the truth. He knew and loved Alita just because he missed me so much. Everything you say, everything you do for her is for me. The story of the pregnancy is because during a fun, when he was about to return home, about to see me again, he drank too much. That night, Alita arrived, and the two of them should have done something wrong. The devil then apologized to Alita clearly. The day he boarded the plane home, he didn't know that Alita was pregnant with her son. Alita screamed again. She said the devil is a liar. Before she saw him again, she still thought he truly loved her. The reason he still hadn't come to her was that I refused to let go. To her, the devil is no longer anything. Only a child needs a father. Alita turned to me, saying in an angry voice that what she told me was absolutely right. And as for the baby, Devil promised everything would be in bed with her, knowing that Alita was pregnant. Devil has repeatedly wanted to leave the baby. Alita doesn't accept that, so Devil reasoned that she wanted to return home to finish with me. Of course, Alita did not agree with that, and the result was the devil's escape. Alita tried to trust the devil but couldn't contact him for months. Alita decided to take her unborn child to find the child's father. Alita emphasized that it was because of her child that she had to travel far to come here. She wants me to let go of this relationship so she and the devil can be together, and they have a happy family because now they have children together. The baby needs a happy family. I am totally the victim in this incident. I didn't know my loyalty would be rewarded with such a series of surprises. I waited for my love within 3 years of separation. I was still happy when the devil came back to me and he proposed. But now it's all over. But luckily, I finally learned the truth if I didn't know what this would be like in the future. Devil was certainly wrong to start with Alita, but maybe Alita is also the victim and her child is completely innocent. What should I do next? Let me know what you think. It will help me make the right decision. Thank you very much.